Hello, and welcome to another one of Kettering Health Nutrition Education segments. My name is Claire Wilt. I'm a registered dietitian with Kettering Maternal Fetal Medicine Office. And this week I'm here with Michelle Beebe. She is the manager of Perinatal Outreach and Childbirth Education. And she is here to discuss following a vegetarian diet during pregnancy. How are you doing today, Michelle?
Doing well, thank you. How are you?
I am great. I'm so excited and fascinated to hear about your ups and downs, your successes, maybe some hiccups that you had following a vegetarian diet, maybe not through your whole life, but also through pregnancy. So can you give me a little bit of your background being a vegetarian?
So I am a lifelong vegetarian. However, when I was a teenager, I strayed. I wasn't a vegetarian all the time. And I am mostly a lacto-ovo vegetarian, which means I do eat some dairy products. However, I don't eat them every week or every day necessarily. So that's my background. But when I got pregnant, I was vegetarian through my whole pregnancies, which I've had 2 children, and I was successfully able to carry 2 children without a problem being vegetarian.
That's so great to hear. So following a vegetarian diet, lacto-ovo, like you say, what does that kind of look like to you? What were some typical meals that you ate? What were some things maybe you had to eat more of to get more protein, folate, B12, those essential vitamins we're looking for during pregnancy?
So first trimester was a bust. We'll just say that nutrition fell out the door. I had, morning sickness, and we call it in healthcare hyperemesis. I had a bad bout of it. So we won't talk about my first trimester behaviors. However, I did eat a lot more intentionally when I was pregnant. So the first thing that I added was I started having nut snacks, which I had never done before. I had little baggies of nuts that I'd carry with me for energy. And I also paid attention to my food combinations. So making sure that if I had a legume, which is a bean, I would combine it, making sure you had it with a grain or with some nuts or maybe some seeds. And I never had thought about that before. I also started sneaking things into my diet that I hadn't. So I've always eaten vegetables, because vegetarians, just because you're vegetarian doesn't mean you always eat a lot of vegetables. But I'd always eaten a lot of vegetables, but I started to be more intentional, thinking green leafy, making sure I got green leafy, or throwing some spinach into my spaghetti sauce, or doing some things to just up the nutrition value of my food. Does that make sense? Or
Yeah. So a lot of the times we think, vegetarian during pregnancy, I am going to not only have to take my prenatal vitamin, but I'm going to have to supplement with vitamin B12 and vitamin D and all of these other things, because we do need increased supplementation of these vitamins and minerals during pregnancy. Did you find you were able to get a lot of those nutrients from your food, or did you have to take a lot of supplementation?
So the only supplement I took was my prenatal vitamin. And then I, nuts, some flaxseed, and to get my omegas. And I really did a lot of green leafies into things very intentionally. Spinach became my friend. Spinach in everything. I mean, it's amazing where you can hide spinach. And that's helped me in momhood as well.
Getting those fruits and veggies for the kids now, right?
Yeah, exactly. Zucchini. You can sneak zucchini and all sorts of things, shredded fine, and those were things that I started to do. But I didn't have to do a lot of supplementation. A lot of people thought I would. But I think the reason I didn't was because I still eat dairy. And so you do get a lot of those things when you have dairy. And a typical snack for me might be cheese and crackers, cheese with apple, peanut butter on apples. I used to carry a tube of peanut butter in my purse.
You gotta do what you gotta do sometimes, right?
You never know what you're going to have, and you're going to be hungry. So that was one of the silly things I did.
Okay.
So
it sounds like a lot of mindfulness being a vegetarian during pregnancy, knowing that you're going to need that increased supplementation. Doesn't necessarily have to be from a pill we have to take once a day, just including, more of certain foods throughout the day, as you say, sneaking them into our food all throughout the day.
And orange juice was also helpful because you and I know that orange juice does help with our vitamins. So making sure, again, being intentional. But not always orange juice. I might just have an extra orange for a snack because it was nice to actually chew something, because sometimes people say, oh, we're going to just sneak it in a smoothie. But a lot of times it was helpful for me to actually have something to snack on, like that I was actually chewing. I don't know, eating slowly. That was important for me.
Okay. And one thing I'm really curious about is, what is your favorite vegetarian meal? Like, what was something you always craved during your pregnancy that you made, or was like, this was a staple for you throughout pregnancy?
This is crazy, but one of my favorite meals is black beans and rice. And literally, I do it in all different ways. So like a taco bowl with black beans and rice. So instead of chips, I might just have rice. But some days I might switch it out and just do a healthy corn chip instead of, and then I call it a haystack, where I put some cheese and tomatoes on top of it. Or I might eat it in, I might add a salad on top of it. But that is my favorite, absolute favorite. You don't have to do black beans. I love black beans. It works with pinto beans. It works with kidney beans. It works with refried beans. But literally beans with some cheese, salsa, it's pretty easy. All ready-made foods that you could just open some cans and dump together. That's my go-to meal.
Yeah, especially if it's something you're craving a lot, having those in the back of your cabinet, come home tired, you're like, man, I'm just gonna make myself up a little taco bowl for dinner. Quick and easy. Those are my favorite things to recommend to my patients too. Convenient, not a lot of ingredients, things you can have on hand for long periods of time that you don't need to, eat in a certain period of time before they expire. Many people might not know too, like you mentioned, pairing your legume with your grain creates a complete protein. So if you're doing that frequently enough throughout pregnancy, you can meet your protein requirements without getting that meat protein that we would typically get from chicken, beef, even fish, if we're, not following a pescatarian type vegetarian diet. Well, that was great information for you. I thank you so much for just giving us even a little bit of insight into what a vegetarian lifestyle looks like during pregnancy, and show that if that's the lifestyle you want to live, you don't have to give that up just because you are pregnant. If you are struggling to follow a vegetarian lifestyle during pregnancy, you can always reach out to us at Kettering Health. At the Kettering Health Community Outreach is 937-558-3988. You can contact the Kettering Maternal Fetal Medicine Office to reach me, the dietitian there, as well as Michelle, who firsthand was vegetarian during pregnancy, so can give you some insight as well if you're struggling following that meal plan but want to continue to do so. Thank you so much, Michelle, for coming and talking with me today.
Thank you.